Testing, uno, due, prova, uno. President is making sure that the voice is good. I like this little panel like this, gentlemen. But voice is good. Are we ready?
Test.
We like to prova. It's prova.
Prova, sì.
You're too close. You're too close to the mic.
Too close to the mic, sorry.
I mean, if Presidente was on this live, you'd be screwed up. So, gentlemen, let's get the show on the road, shall we?
Let's
Here we
go.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Che sì, e dai gol!
Teo Hernandez al gol! Teo Hernandez, ancora lui, una meraviglia! Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic, fuori classe assoluto!
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast, episode 228 to be exact. Here we talk everything Milan, where Steve and I did not get our birthday wishes, Milan, and where it's getting pretty crowded on top, Milan, and where we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
Stevie P, Vinny T, I still have to figure out the Yanni B. I think we're just going to call him Yanni B. Let me just rearrange this. It looks weird over here. Faithfully here every Monday, Busted Calcio. He's been with us for about a month. Yes, we're going to talk about dropped points part 2. But before we do, we went through a hell of a week. Stevie P turning 41, I turning 42. Lots of members' birthdays. Special thank you to everybody reaching out to us, to Stevie's graphic, Sonny making that beautiful graphic, turning me into Bret Hart. I'm going to cherish that picture forever. Thank you to Sonny. But Steve, how was your birthday? Other than getting, I believe, 2 right wings. We didn't get any of that for your birthday.
We got dick fuck all. It's terrible.
Dick fuck all. I asked for 3 points. I did not get it, especially on the day of my birthday. Jan is just drinking away. He's just, it's all good. Because we're going to be needing some of that on a special thank you to Derek. Derek, your words to both Steve and I, honestly, you're se no pezzo di pane. You're really a piece of bread. Thank you for the gift. And hearing words like that, really humbling. And I know Steve, he sent you kind of the same message. And it's kind of nice to read stuff like that. A great birthday present to hear that we made a difference in somebody's life. And, here we are, me and you, and just people looking forward to listen to us. So thank you to Derek, honestly, no matter what.
The distraction of an hour, Derek, again, I called you right away, picked up the WhatsApp machine. Of course, I FaceTimed you while you were with the client, so that's no good. And once we were able to talk, again, thank you. This is, it's for people like yourself, like everybody else. Milan content in English was not something that was easy to catch. All of us at Milan Weekly Podcast, adding someone like Jan to take it to another level, adding someone like Sonny for graphics, Presidente doing his stuff in the background. Guys, now we're trying to involve everybody else with the Busted Calcio tweets and see exactly how far we could take this thing without someone not calling the police on Jan. Again, it's just things that we try to do to catch Milan's attention, but let's be honest here. Milan is not catching on to this, and it's something that unfortunately is very sad to see. The English content on for Milan and what they're giving out is just not good enough, and it's nothing to take away from us. That English content should be more than that, to touch, and get people like Derek, Liban and everybody else who, were Italian. Derek is Italian there, but for people that Italian's not their first language, we have people around the world who could provide English content, and Milan's not doing a good enough job, in my opinion, to take it to another level.
And so that's why, even though it makes a difference, would it be in a one person's life or all these people that we've met throughout all these years, we really do appreciate it. Guys, don't forget, this might be episode 228, but if Steve and I go back, I think this might be episode 600, Steve, from the Red Card Weekly days. If you guys go look at the archives, they're all there. We started off so humbly, and look at us now. Yes, we wish for more, but in the end, if we can bring joy to your lives, it's awesome. Speaking of, it's not really joy in our lives, but Steve, you, I believe you collaborated with Sunny, making that beautiful graphic with Shevchenko. The joy in my life is seeing the love of this man, for his country, and seeing the pictures on Instagram and on Twitter about him being, in their Protestant, against the war. Our thoughts are with Esheva, with his family, with the whole of Ukraine. I don't want to be political and why they're doing this. We're just like, nobody deserves, and this world did not need. We did not need Milan losing points. That's one thing. We did not need a war, but I was just trying to make light of it. But Steve, great. I'm sure you came up with that idea, but great graphics. We got some great traction as well on Instagram. But again, to Sunny, numero uno.
Sunny came up with it. I had nothing to do with it, so it's probably Presidente working with Sunny.
Okay. So I was gonna throw you the flowers, but okay. So we'll give it to Presidente on this one, guys. He's on the chat. I hope my voice is good. Let me check my messages. Just make sure that he didn't send me anything.
You're done already. You're done already. You're done already.
This is like a Squid Game over here.
Gentlemen, Udinese, Milan, talking Friday, 2:45. We have a snowstorm here. We were supposed to get together. We decided to stay home. And, I'm going to ask you guys one by one, and I want to discuss after the whole discussion about, the handball. But Steve, I don't want to go through what you start about the starting lineup. Just give me your thoughts about this game, what you went through. And was this we've seen it all before kind of performance, and just tell us how you really feel, how I tell the group therapy session guys.
I don't know. I really don't understand this Milan anymore. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around it. They just didn't come out and perform. This is not championship material. This is not Scudetto winning material. And we got away with murder, if you want to put in those words, with the tie that we had against Salernitana last week. And then you would think that now playing at home against Udine, not wanting to go through this, having that mid game 12:45, 1, whatever the time was, you thought that they would come out, put on the pressure. They learned from the Salernitana mistake. We got away with murder. We understand what we need to do to win games like this. I don't get the dip in form once they take a lead. And that's something that the teams that win Scudettos do very well, is once they take a lead, they kill off the game, and they manage the game properly. Milan, again, against Udine, did not manage this game properly. And that's concerning and very frustrating, because we'll go back to the Mercato episode that we had, where we all agreed and all said, and I got some heat for it, that management didn't do enough to provide more quality to this team, where if we need a goal, we can put someone on and try to find that goal. And we don't have that answer anymore. We don't have that answer now. And it's frustrating because we're so close, and we just needed just a little bit of investment to take that next step in quality to give us these are lost 4 points. Completely Scudetto killer 4 points, where we needed to come out with the win and put pressure on Inter, who ended up drawing against Genoa.
Yeah.
They drew against Genoa, guys. This is, and then we have to wait to see what Napoli did against Lazio, and it took a 94th minute winner for Napoli to get full points. So, I can't put it on Pioli. I don't know if this team just doesn't understand where they are right now and how close they are. But it's, as a fan, I sit back and I say it's getting frustrating.
It's definitely getting frustrated. And, I'll throw this up to you, Jan. Going from the performances that we had, against the big teams, the Inters, and then we go to Salernitana, we go to the Udinese, and I think the frustrating part is that we start off great. We're scoring that first goal nice and early. And Steve is saying it just seems like, we just can't hold the lead. And yes, we're going to talk about the handball after, but how about your takes on the game? Is it the frustration from being so good, last month to being this poor?
But were we really that good last month? I mean, you said that we beat Inter, we beat Juve.
We tied
Juve,
Yeah.
But beating Inter, we showed up for 4 minutes in that match. There was what we're seeing with these last two games against Salernitana and Udinese was already predetermined on the pitch against the bigger clubs. We weren't playing up to what we've seen in the past, or at least in the last 2 years. And it, like Steve said, it looks like this team, they score a goal and they fall apart. But getting to the goal. Now, Leao, beautiful goal. If I'm an Udinese fan, he looks like he mauled my defender there, threw him down and scored a goal. I mean, we're complaining about a handball that ended up going into our net.
Yeah, it looked like a 50-50 call. Yeah, no, it looked like a 50-50 call.
The reffing in this game, from the first minute, I think one of our players tore down one of their guys on the floor. I just let them play. So, reffing in Italy, let's be honest, guys. We can complain about it every week. Fine, the goal went in off the guy's hand or not. It should not be 1-1 against Udinese. You had 30-something minutes to respond to that goal. It's not like they scored in the 94th. So there's something fundamentally wrong. I don't know if they're broken mentally. And I said it last podcast. There's going to be another stinker, guys. I just didn't expect the first one. I said 2 stinkers. I didn't expect the first one to happen right after Salernitana. And they started off well. They had that chance right away. They put that ball in. They did that long ball that they like to do sometimes. They came in with some power. I thought, wow, this team is ready to win. And then it was just mistake after mistake. And it's not like I can really say any player was, okay, I can say some players were really bad, but it's just, it looked like loss of interest. I don't know. Like, what are you making these passes for? What are you not like playing to the way? Like, they look nervous as if like, oh my God, I just woke up and I'm here now. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do? So it's very nerve wracking. And then again, Inter 0-0 against Genoa. Can't really make fun of them. We didn't do better. But then, yeah, it's like you knew Napoli was going to finally get, so like one of these teams was finally going to get a win. How many mulligans are we going to get?
It's
so
like
tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Yes, we got Coppa Italia game. Hopefully, we could get back on track. And Rami is saying we invite everyone to the top 4 party. Yes, like we opened the forbidden door, as we like to say in the wrestling world. Yeah, just come on in. And Steve, I want to ask you, there's been a lot of talks about the handball, and everybody's like, well, yeah, it's a handball. They missed it. VAR this, VAR that. A lot of people on one side going, champions do not let VAR or bad decisions dictate their games. But I want to discuss about the other side, because for Maldini to come out and say something, right? And I just wanted to get, let's say, your point of view that I'm on the side that we shouldn't let these bad decisions dictate our games. But people saying that, yeah, sometimes, like Pioli was saying, top teams sometimes will struggle, but they'll win those 1-0 games. And for Maldini to come out, how did you take that news? Did you read? What did you read?
It was about time. It's about time he came out. He should have came out. It was worse against Spezia, to be honest. That was the time for him to come out. I think now it's lost now. It was a missed opportunity against Spezia. Was really the time to the Napoli thing, the Spezia thing. Those were the things that were boiling over. Now, I guess it's almost too late. Right now, we know people who watch Serie A and watch the other games, you can count. Every fan base and every team will have a list of VAR mistakes. Roma fans, Lazio fans, Juve fans, Inter fans, they're all going to have it. The problem is at the root, is at Serie A. It's like, what's the point of having VAR if it's not going to help the ref? Because once the ref is there to make the call on the field, someone from VAR needs to contact him and say, hey, I think you should take a look at this. If no one contacts him or no one speaks to him, he has no reason to go to VAR after he makes his call. So it seems like no one at VAR thought that they should look at this. Now, this is not a blatant thing. Like, they would have to relook at this a lot of times to say, hey, really, it's a handball. And again, super slow motion. We've seen it in other sports. We see it in hockey. We see it in NFL. Super slow motion does change a bit of your perspective when you're watching things. And if you watch it enough times, you're going to start believing that it's a handball. But at least take a look at it. Look, I'm the one that sides with, I want to take everything out of the equation. I want to dictate what I do with my result. I want to finish games off where if I get a bad call like this, it will not change the game. And Milan against both Salernitana and against Udine did not do enough. They were not. I saw it in the chat. I forgot who put it there. They were not the best team on the field. No. And we as Milan fans could start blaming Pioli. You want to blame this and blame that. It's just, the fact of the matter is that to win the Scudetto, these games here make a hell of a difference. They change the mentality. They change the way you approach Coppa Italia games midweek. They change the way you're going to approach the Napoli game coming up this weekend. This changes a lot of stuff. And we don't do a good enough job against these teams for I don't know what reason. We're not the 7-time Champions League winner team. We don't have 11 40 classes. We understand that as fans. At least the normal fans do.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But when you have a chance to reinforce your team because you are close to this Scudetto, and I've always spoken about this window, and I'm going to say it again, it's 3 weeks in a row. The window for this Milan team is there. We said Inter would struggle in February. We said Napoli is not all that. They're one injury away from being really bad. Juventus, on the other hand, I see chats where Juventus owns this and Juventus owns this and Juventus owns that. No. Whatever and however they did it, at the bottom line is that they said they needed to address the striker position. They addressed it with the best striker in Serie A right now at this time. And now they find themselves 7 points back in a Scudetto race where they should be nowhere close to that.
And that's the top three's fault, Steve. That's the top
they
three's
should
fault.
be 14 points away. Because their team, and I know Juventus people who listen to this think that I just crap on Juventus. I watch Juventus games on purpose so that you cannot say, oh, you're just bashing on Juventus. Juventus is a terrible team. Their defense is terrible. They have $80 million player who still can't figure out how to play center back in Serie A.
The Italian Serie A, Harry Maguire, right there.
Harry Maguire.
Overpaid.
And we saw it on Empoli's first goal this week. Total chaos inside the box.
And I think, looking at this graph that Sonny's made us for the last couple of weeks, we've always said who's got the toughest challenge. And we never said Milan has the easiest. And I think games like the ones we saw on Friday are perfect proofs of this, right? And how about you, Jan? Are you with Maldini, or are you like me and Steve saying, like, look, it was bad, but in the end, we shouldn't be in that position? Tell me that you were playing a top tier team and it's a really tight game, but against Udinese at home, and you said we had 30 minutes. 30
minutes to tie. They didn't do it. They're weak mentally. It's embarrassing. And, okay, Maldini went to say something, I guess, the solidarity with the team, give them a bit of a confidence boost. I'm not one to care about ref calls. I look at them. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Move on. Like I said, they had 35 minutes to do something. If that goal going in was actually a handball and the team saw it going in as a handball, aren't you pissed off? Don't you want to do something about it? To me, it looked like it was a good goal when the team doesn't have any clue of what to do past, like, in the last 3/4 of that field.
And we all know if they would have seen it go in off his hand, they would have.
Oh,
they would have reacted. Yeah,
you know that, and like we all played sports at some level. Not that none of us were professionals, but you get that feeling. You're like, that was not right. I'm gonna give it my all. They didn't give it their all. And then, like, this whole excuse of the refs, we're gonna become like Roma fans. Are we that pathetic? No, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because this team does not deserve that excuse. They're at fault. It's their fucking problem. They better wake up because they can find themselves in fourth. I don't want to see doom and gloom over here, but they could find themselves in fourth.
The only positive I could take out of this is, like, there's these ups and downs, but how many downs can we possibly go? Looking at
every year at this time, every year it's at this time with this team. It's 2 years now at this time with this team. We're all happy, we're all excited, and nothing.
Steve, I know that Derek asked us a question on. You know what? Like, might as well, because I'm going to ask you guys that. He had said, on a scale of 9 to 10, how important is that game on Sunday versus Napoli? Would a draw equal success? That's the game of the season.
They need to
we can't expect to draw.
They need to win.
They need to
win. They can turn around their mentality.
Yeah, and there's no reason why we can't beat Napoli.
Oh no, of course not.
There's no reason. I think Napoli took advantage of
a poor Lazio,
Inter and Milan, who I don't know what's going on with Inter as well, because drawless goal to Genoa is just as baffling as our 1-1 against Udine. But, it took Napoli, again, like we said earlier, a 94th minute winner from Fabian Luis to...
it wasn't a winner. It was Husage's mistake. But
yeah, of course.
Too. How is he playing in Serie A, that guy? How is he playing in Serie A?
I don't know, but we're going to call it a winner because in the end, that's what they didn't care about the 3 points. They're not going to go look at why or how they got into that situation. They got into that situation. And that's just because they wanted it more. And you see Milan and their last half an hour against Udine, there's not that same passion, which is scary if you think about it. That's what worries me, because now we have a tough game against Inter and the Coppa Italia, where tell me what you want, field whoever you want. Derby's a derby, and you have two in this stupid rule of a semifinal. Andata di ritorno for Coppa Italia, when the whole tournament is one-off games. That's another Serie A wonder strike of scheduling.
Genius.
Genius. Make them play even more, right? Why not? Let's just have one and let's move on, guys. It's Coppa Italia, right?
On the potato field known as San Siro. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's all we need. More games there. So we have that one. Then we have Napoli. This is a big week for Milan. These guys better eat their shit. They better fucking understand where they're going. They better understand that there's a fan base behind them that's ready to pounce. And 2 negative results against Inter and Napoli. Trust me, Milan Twitter will go on a depression.
Speaking of Milan Twitter, where are you guys on some people putting the blame on Pioli on this one? I was trying to understand, like, both sides of the spectrum, but and according to you, where this Pioli's fault. It's not like we had another 4 superstars on the bench sitting down.
What do you want him to do? Okay, so this time he tried in Maldini, tried in something else. If you would have put in Castillo, they would have crucified him. They would have put in someone else, they would have crucified him. Krunic, they would have crucified him. Throw in the Serbian kid, would have crucified him. He's doing what he can. Like Steve said, what do they reinforce him?
It's not his fault.
The guy brought scrap from the bench to a certain point. We have some decent players. I might say the whole team scrap. He needed reinforcements. We didn't get them. They're saying, okay, it's going to come in the summer. This might cost us. Like a few weeks ago, I'm like, who cares about the Coppa Italia? I want to focus on Serie A. Now I want to win the Coppa Italia. Because I don't think this team is Scudetto like I wasn't before, but now I'm really not thinking they're Scudetto worthy. And I want this team to win something besides a stupid Super Coppa that doesn't fucking matter. So what's now the pressure is on, now you got to beat Inter twice. Then you might face a hot Vlahovic in the final. Not the easiest path, let's just be honest, to win this the Italian the Coppa Italia. So, and Steve's right. If we don't perform in these next 2 games, I don't care we're playing Empoli, Cagliari, and bottom dwellers.
This
team is broken after this.
We have to start caring. We have to start caring after that.
Yeah.
There's a thing here.
This week, yeah.
Here, I'm just going to go in I saw it here. So I see Anzi here. His comment was, this game was his fault. I'm guessing that's towards Pioli.
I mean, you can think that.
Then we get this comment. Don't put an attacker.
I'm
pretty sure he's saying put on another attacker. Anzi, we don't have another attacker. That's the problem. That's what we've been trying to say since the winter mercato closed. You decided to roll the dice with a Serbian kid who's not ready and still hasn't played. Hopefully we'll see him in the Coppa Italia, but still hasn't played. So you have Giroud there, and when things don't work with Giroud, for whatever reason, you're going back to let's throw in Rebic in there and see where we can put Leao and Rebic on the same field. And Rebic has not been performing either.
Nope.
So we have a problem.
And it mentioned you were missing an informed Kessie. And I was going to ask you guys, I didn't want to go for tops of the game. I'm just going to go with flops. Kessie is, I don't get it. I really don't get it because I truly want to believe that he's a professional. And I don't think nobody goes out there wanting to lose. A professional athlete should be able to put, personal things aside. And if we need to believe what we're reading today from Di Marzio and company, that he's going to get $6.5 million, same thing that we probably offered him and probably going to be for bonuses, I'm going to have to go with Kessie, Steve, on my flop of the match because the games, I'm not saying it's only his fault, but the games that we did not perform, Kessie did not as well. I don't know if you agree with me or if you had another flop. Well, you could say the whole team there, but I don't get it. I don't get Kessie.
For me, the team is at fault. I'm not going to put blame on one person. We're singling out Kessie right now. We're singling out Kessie because Kessie is the punching bag for the rest of the team and how bad their performance is.
I can say Diaz. I can say a lot of players, but Kessie is
you just named that.
Diaz
you just
for me,
named that.
Yeah, but for me, I'm expecting. You know what? Maybe I'm more speaking on I'm more disappointed in his performance because I'm expecting more from him.
If Kessie has a contract that lasts another 5 years, we're not having this conversation. Milan Twitter's not having this conversation. The punching bag right now is Kessie. And it's fine. Justly so. He put himself in that situation. I have no problem with that. Punch away. The problem, guys, is not only Kessie. The problem is if the team doesn't go well the way it's not going well, Diaz not having a good performance doesn't help that double pivot. Not having a right wing doesn't help that double pivot. It's fucking 3 years I've been saying it. But we constantly pick on the double pivot. It was Tonali. Then we replaced Tonali. It was Benacer and Kessie. Everything was going good. Then Benacer is not doing good. It's Benacer's fault. Benacer. Then we put in Tonali. Great, we're winning. Great. Then now it's Kessie. Guys, do we notice we're picking on the two people on the field that are the most exposed out of everybody?
Mhm.
They're constantly under pressure. They need to recuperate balls. They need to distribute and dictate play because your cam is doing sweet fuck all. So people that continue to, again, I will say it here. If Kessie had a contract that lasted another 5 years after this, we would not be saying that about it. There's other things done on the field that kind of give him a little bit of a saving grace to what's happening, but it's the outside of the pitch that it's affecting everybody. I see Milan Twitter, I see the tweets, I see this. Okay, see, ditch your luggage and leave and this and that. Right now, that's all we have. That's
And
all.
I've never said like get the
No,
fuck
I'm
out
not
of
saying
my
that. I'm
team.
saying
Go
that
on
to
the bench,
everybody.
have
That's
people
all we
go on
have.
the bench
That's all we
and-
have. He has to play.
Yeah.
But we're constantly looking at the double pivot to save us when they cannot, because they're constantly outnumbered. Constantly. Is it a formation problem? No, because it's worked before. But the team needs to work for the double pivot to work. If the team doesn't work, you have a problem. Not having a right wing is probably the most painful for the double pivot and poor Calabria, because Calabria gets exposed every single game.
I saw parts in the game where Giroud was on the right wing winning balls. He does not get enough respect for the stuff that guy has to do up front. He is just giving all the shit. He's running around like crazy, putting his body at risk to get. He puts balls in areas, and where's our cam? Where's the other guys with the right wing behind him? Where's the other winger? It's as if they don't know like what he's doing. Like it's a wow, what? Like you don't see this in practice. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get it.
At least we see him battling for that ball. So we'll see what happens tomorrow and on Sunday. Let's change a little bit of subject here. Let's take it over to Serie A. CDP, I do not believe you woke up at 6:30 in the morning to watch Torino Cagliari. I don't know if you wanted to pick a specific game here to talk about, and then we'll go to the second slide.
No, the only thing I could say about Cagliari is I have absolutely no idea how they win games. And Torino as well. And I don't know how Torino loses games like this, because you're playing at home, you're in form, and it's not the performance that you're looking for. They got on the board, Bellotti in again. This is the scary part of Bellotti. Derek, this one's for you. Bellotti gets on the board, and 10 minutes later, he's out again due to injury. This is the risk that we're going to be taking if we decide to go forward with Bellotti. Again, I'm a Bellotti fan. I like him. We're going to have to manage our expectations with a type of signing like this if they go the Bellotti direction. That's a little bit more for Derek, because I know he's a big Bellotti fan. Look at his little bubble in the chat. He has already a jersey with Bellotti's name on it.
Definitely. Even looking at Verona with Simeone scoring 3 goals. Atalanta today, 4-goal thriller on that one. But I know, Jan, I'm going to ask you about...
Please stop at Atalanta. Please stop at Atalanta.
Okay, stop at Atalanta. Okay, so...
I hate Gasperini. I can't stand it.
Elaborate.
I have actually no warm feelings for Atalanta themselves as well, just because of the color of their jersey. I appreciate their project. But how does Milan Twitter complain about injuries causing form to dip like Milan has against Salernitana and Udine after watching Atalanta put 4 past Sampdoria? Remember our game against Sampdoria, guys? It finished 1-0.
They had Pasalic as a striker.
Yeah, they have no striker. So this is a problem, guys. This team is decimated with injuries, and Milan has as well. But they get the result against the Sampdorias. They tied an informed Juve. They also I think, wrote the book on how to stop Inter being ravaged by injuries. Ravaged. So you have to give them at least a little bit of a chapeau. And the dancing Gasparini is making a miracle. If they make top 4, it's a miracle.
Definitely is a miracle. But yeah, and you've been having a lot of love for Roma, and I don't know if you watched, but at 0-0 until last, I'm like, are they gonna go? Is Twitter gonna burn down Roma? In the end, Tammy Abraham scores in the last minutes. Mourinho in the stands, not coaching. And Roma is like, whoo, okay, we're back on track. We beat Spezia at home. Any comments on this game?
99th minute they scored
99. That's
on
true.
a penalty shot, right? I thought only northern Italian teams get penalty shots according to their Twitter. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised to see a Central or Southern Italian team, however you want to name it, got a penalty shot. It's pretty embarrassing. I mean, 10-man Spezia. It took you to the 99th minute. I guess you know what.
But they're celebrating.
Yeah, they're celebrating. Let them celebrate. They're not gonna have much anyway. Mourinho, that was cute. You saw him watching the game in the Pullman over there. Good.
Nel Pullman. Steve, how about you? Did you? I don't think you were impressed with this Roma, and it just seems to a bit of the same every single week that we see Roma play.
Yeah, it's the Roma curse. I think. I think it's the curse. I think. For all the years, they did absolutely sweet fuck all with one of the greatest Italian generational players that we've ever seen. And I personally had the pleasure of seeing in Toronto playing against Celtic. Imagine.
I saw him play against Messi in the Camp Nou.
See? That's even better. Better story than me.
Yeah.
But because they did sweet fuck all and had no owner who wanted to invest and take them through that window. And again, this is what scares me. They were around that Scudetto window and never put in that money. And if you go see their teams in the past, you kind of like have to think twice about how they did not win a Scudetto. That's the curse. That's the Roma curse.
2001, right?
They spent the most money this summer at all Italian teams. So they spent.
They spent,
badly.
but Jan,
they spent like Mirabelli and Fassone.
They didn't spend like they used to spend, right? You missed the most important game, Vince.
No, I just changed it. I just changed it from over there. But speaking of the Roman teams, Lazio, Napoli. Guys,
Lazio's good for shit.
Lazio's good for shit. Good for nothing.
These guys.
I was trying to figure out, like, does Lazio want to win this game? And even then, at one point in the game, I was watching. Does Napoli want to win this game?
Lazio only wants to win the game when they get the liquidity index or something like that. This team is so lost. I don't understand. I don't get it.
I was watching the game. It was an entertaining game. That we got to give it to them. Like, an exciting game, late goals. But it just felt like even Napoli, great goal from Insigne, but both were all 3 goals, guys, from outside the box. Were they not?
Mm-hmm.
They were all from from long shots and all that stuff, and it just seems to. Steve, how did you put it? Lazio is good for shit.
Lazio's good for nothing. I don't care. I don't. Again, wasted. Poor Luis Alberto and SMS wasted on the team that has 0 ideas. Absolutely, defending is atrocious. They have 0 ideas in the final third. They're always looking for Ciro Immobile, who in a game like this again does not show up. I can't be more straightforward to all Laziali out there. Like they want to make, gold out of a mountain of mush. I'm not here to make it. I think Lazio has problems, and again, another team that refuses to get the coach, the players that they need, or gets the players like who was the defender? Jan, you mentioned them before.
Visage. But I don't know. Was that Sadi wanted him? Was that the one guy that he wanted?
Yeah, probably. He came for free from Naples, and he had him, I think, when he
4-year
was
contract
Naples.
or something like that.
And I think he had him, if I'm not mistaken, he had him at Empoli too.
Yeah, he did.
So you bring in guys like that, Pedro, as much as
maybe it's the jawline he likes. He said it was a very nice jawline. Maybe it's that.
Pedro and all the Laziali want to make a
Very nice
big
goal,
stink out
Pedro.
of Pedro.
Yeah.
Nice goal, but again, those are not the type of players that I think Lazio need to take that extra step. Will they stay with Sarri? I don't know, because we all don't know how Lotito's brain functions. And again,
Nobody
and
does.
I think and I think Tare, for as good as he's done in the past, is starting to lose the plot of what this Lazio team. They have no identity. They have zero identity.
I just get entertained from people tweeting out that Jerry's like, "Oh, look at your team," and he's got to reply back, "Yeah, it took you 99 minutes to beat a 10-man Spezia." Good, end this whole bickering between Lazio, but you guys both suck. I'm sorry, both your teams and Lazio on paper should be better than what we see there. But anyways,
They have the best midfielder in Serie A for me, SMS.
there was a lot of these trumpets. Empoli and Juventus did watch this one here. I know some of us were close to the monitor, but I'm gonna give my indigestion right now. How are these journalists and newspapers at 7 points behind talking about Juventus is in the Scudetto race? Atalanta hasn't played yet. Atalanta now is better than you, and they're in the Scudetto race. Why? Because they're Juventus? Because if it was any other team, nobody would be talking about that,
Because
right?
because it's the Cowboys, because it's the Maple Leafs, because it's the Lakers, because it's
All right. Thank you for explaining that. But Steve, Juventus Empoli, another entertaining game. Your thoughts on this one? I'm sure you watched.
Yeah, I don't know what Empoli was thinking at the 46th minute of the first half. I think that if the game goes in to the locker room at 1-1 at halftime, I think we have another result here. But terrible giveaway. Cuadrado doing Cuadrado things, which I didn't know if it was a shot or a pass, but it ended up on...
that's his career. We don't know if it's a shot or a pass.
We don't know if it's a shot or a pass. And it ends up on Vlahovic's foot, and he is magic from there. If he's in the box...
Control, that was nuts.
On the second goal,
the second.
that's ridiculous.
With the ball,
on the second goal, yeah.
And that's why they
That's
spent
70
million.
That's 70 million right there. That's
Okay,
70 million right
I get it, but I still need to see him. I need to see him score against the big ones, which he hasn't done
there.
against
Scored in
Juventus.
Champions League.
Vince, he has 20
Champions
goals.
League.
Vince.
Yeah, and who's he
How many
scored
more
with
goals
the
do you want to
Juventus?
see? You sound like the Juventini that first
He
they were
scored 3
comparing.
goals with Juventus. 3 goals he scored.
Vince, he has 20 goals, Vince, in Serie A.
Fiorentina.
Vince, he has 20 goals in Serie A, Vince.
I'm sorry. I don't
he
think
had 17 last year. He has another 12 games to play.
No.
El amor de Pucchiacca desordine. Even you, what do you want from these guys?
We'll see.
We'll see what?
We'll see when he scores the big one.
See what? We'll see what?
We'll
What
see
are
when he
we
scores
gonna-
the
I
the
mean,
big what? He
I
scored in Champions League in 1 minute. 1 fucking minute.
in a game that he was just holding people because Allegri's like, okay, you're by yourself, you're on an island, and I'm just gonna
Don't
throw balls
go
at
to
you.
the dark side, Vinny. Don't
It's
go
the
to
click-
the dark side.
It's clickbait. I like
It's
the clickbait.
clickbait, yeah.
It's
And I have,
clickbait.
to be honest with you, I have a bet with Anthony at Socharo's for a coffee, and I think I'm going to lose because I bet
You
that he wasn't going to
lose,
score.
guaranteed.
He wasn't going to score 7 goals in
You-
Serie A, and he's already.
You have
at,
to bet through proxies. You have to bet through Massimo. That's the only
no,
way you're
I
gonna win.
shouldn't be betting, but that's why I only bet a coffee, and
You
that's why
lost
we're
the
playing.
coffee. You lost
You
the
lost the
coffee.
I know I lost. Okay, leave me alone, guys. Leave me alone. Okay, let me hate on
No, but
Vlahovic.
you know what though? It's funny. This is for whatever. If you wanted to, I hope you're joking. Anyways, but
He's
even
a
if you're not,
fantastic player. He's a
Even if
You
fantastic
can hate him
player.
because of the jersey. That's
Yeah,
fine.
hate
I
him
hate
because
him.
of the
But he's a
jersey.
fantastic player, guys. Don't get me wrong. I just like to be sulking in my own little corner because I'm gonna lose that coffee. But no, that's just me joking around. And clickbait people, cut this out and post it all over. Oh my God, Milan Weekly Podcast thinks Vlahovic is
they
shit.
will.
So yeah, love it.
Well,
But again, Steve, other than a great performance from Vlahovic, you shouldn't be letting Empoli back into this game this way, right? Jan, even you, like,
this
do
is
you
not
want?
the
But that's
that you're thinking
Juve.
about.
But that's Juve. If they had only scored 2 goals, it would have ended a tie this game.
Yeah, but
But
I
they
just-
got the difference maker. They got a striker that gets them 2 goals on his own.
But I like the way you put that. They're the Maple Leafs. They're the Dallas Cowboys. They're, that's why they're in that
The
discussion
Yankees.
because the
That's it. They're
Yankees,
always
exactly.
the most popular team.
Salernitana Bologna 1-1. This is I'm definitely sure we did not watch this one. Either of us here, Stevie P, Jan, no. This one, Genoa Inter, guys. I laughed, but it's not like Inter's guys was bombarding, and they couldn't, they're hitting a post here and this. It was a very balanced game. Am I wrong? Maybe like in my knowledge of soccer is not like you guys, but it's like Inter. I don't know. It's like they didn't want to win this game.
Was Sensi the glue that was holding this team together, and they let him go, and they have no answers off the bench. They have no. I don't know. There's a flair missing for.
That's gonna be a mistake. Talking to a lot of Inter fans, Francis, you know how I feel about this. I think them letting Sensi go out on loan caused them and forces them to play Vidal, and when Vidal is going to be 100% terrible, have only the option of bringing in Vecino in. That's a big problem for them. And we said it that because of Simone Inzaghi, I almost insulted Pippo Inzaghi here. They were gonna have that Lazio dip. It came with him from Lazio. People are gonna say, heavy schedule in February.
No plan B.
No plan B. He has never a plan B. Yeah. And he got, in the beginning of the season, things were going right for Inter, and they were firing on all cylinders. Now things have hit a little bit of a roadblock because for them, same as Milan, they need to look to this derby again. Whoever they're gonna field is gonna want to win that derby. Yeah. And they're going to have a tough match against Liverpool again because they're still in it. Whether you like it or not, they're still in it.
Yeah.
The away goals doesn't exist anymore, which, guys, my opinion is the stupidest thing. I think they should.
I love it. I love it.
No, I don't like it.
I love it.
I don't like it. I think they should have kept, but they're still in. Anyways, regardless,
only in Coppa Italia they're still in, Steve. Only in Coppa Italia, the real trophy. Yeah. Yeah, and last game was what do we have? Fiorentina losing to Sassuolo, and Sassuolo. Steve, we like to talk about Lazio in the past years as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but is Sassuolo they come up with the bigger teams? They got the great performances. No. Lazio's always going to be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right?
No, Lazio is because Lazio thinks that they're bigger than they're supposed to be. Sassuolo, no, and if Sassuolo fixes and rightens the ship a little bit more, and they would have been able to keep some of their players that they got decimated and had to sell. I think the Sassuolo would be a team that would challenge for at least a European spot.
That's very well. So Fiorentina losing. Looking at this, looking at the standings right now, Jan. What are your takes? Everybody, yes, Napoli because of the goal differential. You still have Inter, Atalanta with a game in hand. When are they taking back those games, guys? Did they announce those yet?
It's going to be submitted by secret ballot from the Serie A at midnight on an undisclosed night in April. We don't know yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the inside scoop. But looking at this, do you see? I think Allegri had said il scudetto si vince 85 punti. He's basically saying, you're going to need 85 points to win the scudetto. He goes, our goal is top 4. The way they've been performing, I don't even know how we're going to get to 85 points, but it's still exciting, right? Putting our Milan hats on the side, this top 4 is exciting.
It's exciting. Put any of these 4 teams in the EPL or La Liga, they're not finishing in the top 4. It's depressing to look at Serie A and look at these teams and then see them play in Europe, and this league is dying. It's a dead league. Look at these. It's pathetic how these teams play on an individual basis. These are not top 4 teams in any other league. I don't care what you're going to tell me, and I'm maybe being too harsh on everyone. You guys can tell me whatever you want. Napoli, Milan, Inter, Juve are not a top 4 team in any other league. Look at how other leagues. Look at how other teams play in the other leagues, and I don't care about financial fair doping and all this other stuff. They're not good. These teams. That's why the race is so close. It's pathetic.
I disagree with La Liga.
Yeah,
I think they would finish. These teams would.
Athletic Bilbao would slap us on some days, I think.
Oh, stop, Atletico Bilbao.
I don't think so. Real Madrid loses to middle table teams as well. So does Barca, Atletico as well. It's La Liga is just as screwed up. But look,
We're
they're
not
the
winning in
best.
France,
They're not the best. They're not teams that are gonna run away with it. But I think those teams, besides the Manchester Cities, the Liverpools,
The Chelsea. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah.
Chelsea. Now we're gonna see with Chelsea, Russian money. Bye bye. We'll see what happens to Chelsea. Besides that, I think these teams give them a run for their money. Imagine, as crippled as they are financially, I think they give them a run for their money. Tottenham's
Because they're
terrible.
crippled in a league that's crippled, so they're playing
Yeah,
against other teams that are
exactly,
even more crippled.
exactly.
Because
They're a byproduct. They're a byproduct of a
10.
crappy team.
The bottom 10 in these other leagues, their finances are light years ahead of what we have in our bottom 10 in the league. The Salernitanas, they don't exist in those leagues. They existed there 25 years ago. Not anymore.
No, they make so much money.
Gentlemen, let's take it over to Patreon questions coming in from Fabio. Hey, boys, hope you had good birthdays last week, despite the team trying to ruin it. I'm on tomorrow's game with predicted lineups showing the versatile Lord Krunic playing the cam position. What are your thoughts on this potential choice? All the best and Forza Milan. He also has a follow-up question. So he's saying that maybe Krunic as a cam. He says, Leao says he wants to stay at Milan forever and have his name make history at the club. It gives me PTSD from Kessie saying the same thing before the season, but Zlatan comes out saying he feels he isn't done until he brings a championship to this Milan. Does a vet like Zlatan speaking like this to influence young players like Leao to want to achieve greatness with our club? Worth spending maybe $3 million on him for one more season. So first off on the Krunic at this point, Steve, would you go with Krunic as a cam?
It's not even a cam. It's a 4-4-2.
Yeah,
it's just what he wants to. He wants to just clog the midfield a bit more.
No,
We're gonna do what we can try to do in the derby, and maybe try to show up for 6 out of the minutes this time around, and try to win 2-0. To go on to our game that we're really thinking about is the Napoli game.
There we go. Krunic, Jan.
I know what Krunic is going to bring, and I think he's a good soldier, and he's going to do what the coach asks him. And I'm not expecting him to score goals or bend it like Beckham, like he did last year when he scored that crazy free kick. But he's a safer option than some guys, so at least I know he's going to make the right decisions. But what else he's going to do?
And on the Leao comments,
well, I just wanted to say something. Ibrahimovic has played for how many teams?
Lots.
How the hell are you talking about loyalty, Ibra? What's it like? Ibra's gone around the world and played with every other team. Ibra's a great fucking player. But what loyalty did he show? Did he show any loyalty to Juventus when they got relegated? He went straight to Inter. Then he went to Barca. Then he signed with Milan. Then he went to PSG. Like, I love the guy, but Leao saying, I want to stay here forever. These are just empty problems. These guys are not staying here forever. It's never going to happen, and nor should they.
Yeah. And
this
it's funny how
it's
funny how they think that, how people still believe them. How people
these guys make the money they want to make. Go.
They're gonna move on.
Experience the world. They're not gonna stay there. This is not the calcio del mio nonno. That is over. People have to get that out of their mind. The bandiere, it's dead. We are lucky enough that we saw that generation of players, the bandiere, but now it's not gonna happen. And I don't blame these guys. They have a short window to make as much money for their families, generational wealth. Go and make it, buddy.
Just a mistake for him to come out and say something.
Yeah,
like that.
but you know what? It's also like, was it really quoted that way? What was he saying?
Yeah.
Like, how was the context of it? Every player has those quotes. I just, I love Leao. I hope he stays, but I know it's not going to stay.
Somebody comes with an $80-90 million offer, Leao. Excuse.
Only guy that stays forever, his last name's going to be Maldini. No matter how bad he is, he's going to be on that team forever. That's the only one.
Steve, you about the comments with Ibra saying he wants to bring a championship, and Leao, are you on the same wavelength as Jan?
These are just things that they're saying just to make to settle the storm. I don't believe anything. I go for one team, and that's a red and black team. I don't care who's playing on the pitch. I don't get emotional about these players.
Gio says, "Keep up the great work, guys. What do you guys think is going on with Houdini 79 that he isn't playing to the level he produced last season? Also, let's go win that Coppa Italia, and we'll insist a winning mentality to these players." I know we touched a little bit the basis on Kessie. Do you guys wanted to add? You're saying that he not playing to the same level that he produced last season. I don't think that's a wrong comment. Not at that level. I don't know if it's maybe the Olympics plus the African Nations Cup. And guys, he didn't have a break, did he? What break did he have? 2 weeks? But I don't know if you guys wanted to add anything to that comment from calling him Houdini 79, our friend Gio.
He's not playing to the level that we know of him, but he's playing to the level that we saw of him 3 years ago. So I don't know. It's like Kessie wasn't always the Kessie that we saw last year. You know what I mean? It's like people seem to forget. It's recency bias. He was amazing last year. The year before that, not so much. So maybe last year was a flash in the pan, and they're trying to cash in on it because he's not stupid and his agent wants to make money. And, good for him. Go make your money and then flop. I don't care. But he's playing to what he's doing what he has to do. And like Steve said, he's exposed. He has no support.
Steve, same thing. I think you said your piece on Kessie on that one. I'm going to ask, what's more likely to happen, Derek asks? We build a new stadium in our lifetime or the Leafs win the Stanley Cup?
I don't think either one of those things are ever going to happen, and I'm a Leafs fan, so I don't know.
Derek, I hope we're still on Patreon 40 years from now, and you're going to ask us back, like memories on Patreon. We're going to go back to that one. Yeah, the stadium talk, it's like...
Guys, they're putting some pressure. They're going they're looking outside the city now, right?
They're looking to other parts of Milan.
Exactly.
Until I see a shovel, those official pictures with the golden shovel, and
that's not good enough. That's not good enough.
That's not good enough. No.
The stadium has to be up. All jokes aside, in Italy, the shovel in the ground is not enough.
No.
They're able to leave a decrepit, half-built stadium there for absolutely no reason, just because of green tape. Italy, the country of itself, is a byproduct and a mirror image of Serie A as it's run as a league.
There's right next to Casa Milan. When I don't know if anyone's I've been. There's a shopping mall metro station that's completely abandoned. That initially, when they built Casa Milan, they wanted to maybe buy that land and build a stadium in front, and it's still there empty. Nothing's going on with it. So yeah, like Steve said, buildings are built; they don't even use them.
And Rahul saying, "Hi, Vinny and Steve and Jan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. He only wrote Y-A-N. You're good, Rahul. You're good. Will you consider loaning Balance Maker and sign Berardi this summer? Loaning Salad Maker and signing Berardi. I think we've spoken about that, obviously. But would you loan out Salad Maker? I don't think so. I think he's good.
Keep him as the backup and not resign Messi.
Ramiz, I think he's been asking a couple of times, what are we going to finish at the end? 4th, 3rd? The Scudetto dream, you need to believe, Ramiz. You need to believe. Still finish first, baby. We got to believe.
We could also finish 4th.
Yes, I know. That's why we have you on here for the
We could also finish 5th.
We could also finish 5th. Yes.
Last, Gigi Lapata, before we get into our busted cultural tweets, how much do you think these Milan players need as a bonus to be able to close out and win games versus mid-team tables to be relegated teams? I don't know, maybe a supper at Maldini's house, or maybe
I forget who I saw on Twitter. It was one of our older Milan Twitter accounts, and they were saying how this was a problem even in the 90s when we were, winning Scudettos or losing out on them by a few points. We weren't beating the Livornos, the Messinas, the Crotones back then. So could this just be a Milan thing that we don't show? We think we're too good for these small clubs. We don't show up.
We might have had the reasoning back then, but we don't have the reasoning.
Now we don't have the reasoning. No, definitely not now.
But no, I don't know what they need as a bonus, Gigi Lapatat. Maybe a training session with Maldini. Maldini could, take him on to the Milanello and let's go. Now, Jan, you have. Do you think Romagnoli play? Vince, guys, do you think Romagnoli plays for Italy? Who will partner up with best? I love Vince Gattuso. This is a Milan Weekly Podcast, and he's asking us about a Nazionale. Vinny, you're the best. Romagnoli and Nazionale.
I mean, over at Cherby, sure.
Yeah. Is there anybody better?
They won't pair Bastoni and Romagnoli together because they're both left-footed.
But Romagnoli is making this national team. Yes.
As a sub. Not as
As
a
a
starter,
sub.
I think.
I
As
don't
a
think
sub.
I don't think we're gonna see him play, but he might.
I would prefer him as a sub to Acerbi, though. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely to that.
I don't know how Acerbi makes that team, honestly.
Are we ready, gentlemen? So, busted calcio tweets. I did not look at what you picked, Jan. Let's have a quick look. And these are from. Do you have a time frame? Are they from last week or this week?
The first one that we're gonna see was actually sent to me by a fellow friend, Juventino Don DeFazio, while we were talking, like while we were going through the busted tweets. You gotta put this on, and I saw the message after. But then two other people on Twitter also sent them. So I like G Just Juve, nice account. The busted part is not what he is saying. It's the quote tweet, from Adam Luciano. So Adam is saying it's true Locatelli is tired, which is pathetic. I'm 36 years old. Health-wise, I've been to hell and back and still run 150 kilometers every single week. I'll come back to that after. The word tired isn't in my vocabulary and shouldn't be for world-class athletes during the prime of their careers. So usually when people want to show off they run 150K, they go on Strava, they put their little run, and they share it to social media. They don't make themselves look like they don't understand what professional athletes do on a daily basis by quote tweeting a very nice tweet by G Just Juve and making this person, Adamo Luciano, looks like a guy who doesn't really follow the sport that often. Or he wants to try and vent himself saying, I run 150K. Because professional athletes do get tired. That's why injuries happen.
When they can't eat all the carbs that they want and they need to eat all clean and all this stuff. And
but it's like, what are you trying to... How do you want to... I don't get... I'm lost for words on this tweet. I really don't understand what your point is in all of this. Locatelli, probably one-on-one with this Adamo Luciano, would ruin him in a decathlon. Ruin him anywhere. He would ruin all of us, of course, because he's a professional soccer player.
Hey, whoa. Give me a chance.
Okay? You've never seen Stevie on as a left
Steve
back.
Gets it going. He's like a defensive linesman. I know. They get that momentum. They're going. Sorry, I called it soccer. People get mad when we say that.
Yeah, Adamo, on that one, we'll challenge Locatelli for you on
I
this
don't
one.
get it.
Steve, let's go on the second one. Let me get your, you know what, guys, we have to figure out, do you guys see slide one? Because it blocks the tweet, right? I can't read it all there. Do you guys see it on your end, or is it only on my end?
It's good. Slide one. We see it.
Okay.
Slide
I'm
two.
saying sometimes it blocks what I get, the actual tweet.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Steve, what do we have here? We have, you see, I can't read the bottom. So it goes, why don't people respect Serie A in Europe in the last decade? Let me explain why. Napoli, Inter, Milan, Lazio. Such embarrassments, it's crazy. You can't even chat to us regardless how we finish. What else did he say there?
Our season.
Our season. So, Steve, according to what did this one make the busted culture?
Guaranteed it has to be a Juve fan or a Roma
at
fan.
NYC Juventus. And that's his
He
handle.
just found his account January 12th. When did they sign Dusan? I think this guy opened his account then.
Yeah.
So, such embarrassments, it's crazy. You can't even chat to us regardless of how we finish.
This guy
the
is a
season.
fan of a team that lost 7 Champions League finals.
This is the same guy that put up that graphic when they put up Champions League royalty and they put Bayern Munich, Barcelona,
That's
Real
right.
Madrid,
Yeah.
and Juventus.
But they're running with a budget that eclipses Napoli and Lazio. And the fact that Napoli and Lazio were making these tournaments is something.
And Roma, he forgot to in this tweet. He actually forgets to it. He forgets.
Roma actually went, yeah.
He doesn't include Roma because I think Roma has been to the
Lazio's
Champions League final.
Lazio's won a European trophy in more recent memory than Juventus, I think, no?
No, I don't think so.
The Coppa delle Coppe, didn't they win that in like 99 or 2000?
Anyways, whatever.
It's just like, come on, man, you're the embarrassed. It's not a record you want to have, 7 Champions League final losses.
It's not a record, and these are again the Juventus fans that they don't look and don't pay attention to the $400 million bailouts that come their way, and don't understand that again. And I'm not even gonna talk for AC Milan, but I'm gonna talk for an Inter fan. Inter has been through the car wash, which is called financial fair play. So has Roma. Napoli, in its own, has done its own damage and has fielded fantastic teams with an owner that refuses to spend. That's a bit on them. Milan, again, on our Milan Weekly Podcast, has not transitioned well from the Senatori, yes, and unfortunately went through a decade of problems. But that happens. But my friend, that's you can't pinpoint, and I love this is again comparing. You gotta compare everything. You gotta compare. You cannot block it to a decade because there's cycles to this crazy game that we love and follow. And if you, as a Juve fan, has not picked up on that yet, you're one very, very lucky to be following Juventus the last 10 years and forget the problems that they had before, Calciopoli, and so on and so forth. And remember, always remember, when you're tweeting about Europe and Serie A, AC Milan.
There's only one team.
7 Champions League trophies in and at Casa Milan to your 7 losses.
Enough said on that one. Number 3 at Anfield edition, the best to ever do it. And this is a picture of Virgil van Dijk, I believe.
Yeah, winning one of the 17 cups they play in the EPL kind of like ruins the ambition to win one of those cups. But
which
Carbone
cup
Cup.
was it? The
Carbone Cup.
I don't know, but I think these EPL kids or heads or whatever you want to call them, you don't know what good defenders are.
No, they don't.
You don't know what good defenders. And I'm not even looking at Milan. Juve had great defenders. Inter had great defenders. Roma had great defenders. Lazio had great defenders. Napoli had great. The list goes on and on and on and on in Serie A. So I understand why they think, the best to ever do it, because this guy won the worst Champions League in the last 30 years against Tottenham that had no clue how they even appeared in the Champions League final. And this guy won it. So then they're thinking, this guy's the greatest guy ever. Who's Maldini? Please stop embarrassing yourselves. Read up. Go watch something else besides the EPL, because we all watch the EPL. Why don't you watch something else besides the EPL instead of making stupid tweets like this? That this guy won one of your 18 cups that you play every year. Like, got someone every day. Seriously.
Go watch a game of Zanetti and Maldini back in their prime. Let's go talk
about Zanetti and Maldini. Talk
about
about 2 legends facing off against each other. So that's what we're talking about.
You know,
this guy against Harry Maguire. Come on now.
But the funny thing about these tweets like this is that, again, I wish time was on my side and I would have the time. I think there's Serie A defenders right now that are better than Virgil van Dijk.
Yes.
And I'm going to give credit to someone like Skriniar at Inter, Bastoni at Inter. I think both of those 2 guys are better than Virgil van Dijk.
And you know what? If you are a millennial Anfield edition, go take a look at what Maldini's stats, and not just because he was a Milanista, but I believe his total tackles per game was under 1 because he was so always well positioned. So Virgil van Dijk, congratulations on, what was it called, Steve? The Carbone Cup?
This is the Carbone Cup, but again, this is the generation that we're in. We're always constantly having to compare.
Can't argue with that. At AC Milan today, Gianluigi Donnarumma turns. Why didn't they wish me a happy birthday on the same day? Or
why did they wish this guy a happy birthday? It's enough. This guy, he's always getting interviewed. He's always talking about Milan. Man, just stop. Put it to bed. I think they did it for the interactions. It's just a clickbait by our own team over here.
The Carabao Cup.
About this guy and his birthday. I don't care. They send birthday wishes to our legends. To even guys that have played with us and left on good terms, not to a guy like this. Get out of here.
It's AC Sergio. Can we get it? And we have fucking right wing. Sonny, I hope you're watching. Steve, this is cringe from Milan, right? What's the point of this?
I have no idea. I don't know why they would go down this road again.
Look how they cut it up. It says Madonna.
Madonna Roma.
I don't know.
I have no idea why they would go. I'm all for it that they go back and they wish
you won that Super Cup with us.
Yeah, they wish Cafu. Wow. They wish Pato even. At the Ambrosinis, but Yeah, he Galatse, the Shevchenkos. Like, even go back further than that and wish. He just left. Christ, we just had a whole soap opera off season because of this guy. And again, I like Gigi Donnarumma. I don't have a problem.
Give
with
it to us in 5 years from now.
Yeah. Like let it pass. It's done. You have a starting keeper. You were fortunate enough to replace this guy and almost seamlessly have the fan base forget about it.
And guys, it's what, 3 weeks with that whole article that the last phone call that I got. It's so fresh in people's minds, and you come into anyways. Milan, you deserve this one. And last but not least, Jan, what'd you find for us?
We found our friend Nicholas from the Calcio guys.
Laugh at Napoli all you want, but in 2 weeks, Milan, Napoli, and Inter will be all focusing 100% on Serie A. There shouldn't be any more excuses for them. But once again, Juve will carry Italy in Europe per usual. Nicholas, do you think he was just trying to? I think he was trying to get nominated because this one's pretty.
I think he was stirring the pot. He wanted to be on the show.
So Juve will carry Italy in Europe per usual. Per
usual until they face Porto or Lyon or one of those other scrap teams that's going to knock them out, Valencia this time or whatever. Is Villarreal, who are they playing? I don't care. But anyway, Nicholas, nobody cares about Juve carrying Italy anywhere. No teams in Italy, when they play in Europe, carry Italy anywhere. That's a stupid thing that Carlo Garganese and other people like to push because they're expats that live somewhere else in the world and they want to be like, oh, everyone Italy.
No, fuck
all the other teams. You hear me? Fuck them all. If it's not Milan playing in Champions League, I don't root for them. I'll watch their games because I'm not like Presidente that I pretend that I don't watch Champions League because Milan's not there. I watch the games. I root for the team that's playing against them because I want to see them lose.
Yeah.
I want to see Inter lose. I was going for Bayern in that final.
Of course.
Bricks, they didn't do anything. I want to see Napoli lose. I don't want, call me a sore loser, call me whatever you want. I don't care about your team in Europe. I hope you all lose.
And I went on a rant a few years ago on this one. It's like, no, fuck you and the rest of the Italian teams. Permette solo il Milan. I'm not cheering Inter on. I'm not going to cheer. I almost got into a big fight in Paris when I cheered when, what was that game, guys? When Inter was playing a German team and they lost like 5-2. And I was cheering on. I was cheering on the other team, and some French guys Inter table, they almost beat me up. I don't give a shit about the other teams. You think I'm going to cheer Juve on?
And
right?
Guys like Nicholas, you're too young to forget. But when I was in 2003, 2005, I had Juve fans say, I fucking hope you lose. I hope you fucking lose. In 2007, they were all happy when we lost these games.
Those were my exact words, right?
Because it's not on Twitter, it's not in history, right? So I guess it wasn't there.
But guys, they all came to us. Guys, we really feel bad that you went down, against the Liverpool. We're here for you if you need to talk. Mangez tout un gros char de marde, si toi et tes assis d'équipe italienne de tabarnak. Steve?
This is Nicholas trying to jump on again that Juventus feel for me bandwagon that everybody likes to get on, where we're rooting and want people. No one cares about Juve except Juve fans,
which is fine,
and it's okay. It's fine.
Love your team. I don't.
I will not. I have not. And again, I lived in a home with a Juventus fan, and I left that home and never looked back. And I had to eat shit for many years of them winning Scudettos and stuff like that, and laughter at my Milan losing to Istanbul from someone in my own family. And again, I watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of soccer. I'm a sports and soccer junkie. When the other Italian teams play, I'm not rooting for anybody, to be honest. I just want to see a good game. I'm a real calcio neutralist when it comes to that. I have no emotion. It actually gives me more. It gives me a lot of pleasure when the other team loses. It gives me some ammunition for shows like this. But besides that, guys, couldn't care less. Barcelona lost. Barcelona beat up Napoli. Did we talk about it? Not really. I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Do you guys actually think Presidente didn't watch Champions League for like those 7-8 years? Steve.
That's what he says.
He didn't watch Champions League for 7-8 years.
You got to save on that DZN subscription.
He's got that hard head enough not to go on. But guys, I just want to finish off. I gave my indigestion with all the Juve talks in the Scudetto race. Steve, any indigestions, brioches you want to close us off with?
Yeah, my indigestion is with Milan. I can't understand how we let these 4 points slip these past 2 weeks and not showing that championship mentality that you should have picked up from last year. That's it's more of more of a disappointment than an indigestion, because I really thought that after the trek that they had last year and the positivity of finishing second on that last day, that we understood as a team and as a group and as a club what needed to be done this year to take us to that next level. And we're here, day 20 whatever we are in the Serie A Campionato, 30 something, whatever the hell we were at. What day are we at? 36, 32, 34?
We are at 27.
27.
Day 27. And still we're in the Scudetto race, whether we want to admit it or not, or other teams want to let us in, and we still didn't do what we had to do to get us to that next level where we're not dropping points against Salernitana and we're not dropping points against teams like Udinese.
And how about you, Jan? We're still getting sunny. Better pay attention. We want a fucking right wing T-shirt. Maybe we could do it in the style of ECW, like effing, But that's just me. Jan, any indigestions, any brioshkis for this week?
The fact that my Juventini friends have gotten a little bit more life back in their thumbs and in their voice bothers me. So because of Milan, Inter, and Napoli, now they won, but they also dropped points, being a bunch of dodo birds. That's my indigestion, that I have to hear them. I was happy this year was nice. I didn't have to hear anybody, and I have to hear them. So that's my indigestion.
Which one, I got to see that tweet that Mario shared. Was it the guy tweeting back to Allegri's comment, Il DNA della Juve è ritornato? And the guy, what did he reply? I go, see, for the two penalties that were missed by Empoli, even us, we realized that the DNA Juventus came back. That just made me laugh at a snicker. But gentlemen, Coppa Italia tomorrow. Sunday, Milan Club Montreal. Members or not, we will be at Ciociaro's 2:45. Come one, come all. Like Bizak had told us, on a besoin d'un grand groupe ce dimanche.
I will be there Sunday.
And I have a pitcher on credit, so we'll get there nice and early again to start, because we need to pass the pitchers around the beer.
Yes,
nice
I have
people.
to play hockey later, so I might be passing more beer than drinking it, but I will be there.
Giddy up. Stevie P, will you be probably joining us on Sunday?
I have no idea.
No idea. If you come.
Surprise. Get his intro music ready in case he shows up.
Guys, on that note, thank you so very much to 60 guys, 60 live viewers. Thank you very much for joining in every single Monday. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao, guys.